Hola, ¿qué tal? Yo puedo hablar español un poquito. So, hello, how are you? It's been a while since I have made a video. Lately I have been so busy and I really didn't have so much time for making videos, but that doesn't mean that I'm not still passionate about what I do. So, as you have seen in introduction, today's, or as you maybe can presume, what will be today's topic, and it's about accent in language. So we are all born with our native accent of our native language, and sometimes it's really difficult to get rid of it, and maybe some people just don't want to get rid of it. But all in all, I want to discuss it and tell you my view about accents in language. For example, as you have seen in my introduction, as I have made a joke about American people trying to speak Spanish, because I have heard that in so many TV shows, soap operas, concerts, or whenever I have heard in my private life Americans trying to speak Spanish, it sounds really like that. Firstly, they don't see the distinction between the R sound in Spanish and R, which stands as well for R sound, but in English, so they tend to speak Spanish with that R sound, and it really sounds kind of funny. And immediately as they try speak Spanish with that R, like pero, you can tell that they are not native Spanish or Latin American Spanish speakers. People from United States and from Canada as well tend to do is they say L, like sound L in Spanish with some different way. For example, in American English, that L would be really L, like you put a tongue between your teeth and you say L. But in Spanish, however, it's just L. For example, eres linda, so linda, it's not linda. And so when they say it, you can really tell that it's not native Spanish. French people, you know that French is one of my favorite languages, but I really don't like when I hear it in other language, for example, English. What they do, they have really problems with saying R sound, like R or R in English. Because their vocal system had been developed long before they started learning second language, for example, in this case, English. So it's so difficult for them to say R or R like in Spanish. So they tend to say words like learning, learn, not learn, learning, and that can sound pretty funny. And not just that, what they tend to do a lot is they always put accent on the last syllable. Development or mondial. What they do, they tend to say the word, say the English word in a French way, and then we have words like swimming, swimming instead of swimming. So can you tell the difference between swimming and swimming? And French in general tend to speak with their mouth put forward, like swimming, education. So they tend to put their mouth forward, and they pronounce on the same way English words. While I was teaching just about how French speak English or how Americans speak Spanish and so on, I'm sure that you have heard million times live when people speak foreign language with their native accent. And there is a question, is the accent the most important thing in a foreign language? question is people who are aware that they have this native accent in a foreign language, are they ashamed or maybe discouraged to speak it? And my opinion is that definitely shouldn't discourage you. Accent is important, but it's not the essential part of learning and speaking foreign language. The most important thing is for a language to be grammatically correct, and the pronunciation should be correct. So that shouldn't be a thing that discourages you. But what I can give you from my personal experience, you should find a role model when you speak foreign language. Okay, wait, maybe this can sound like confusing. What is role model? How? This is what I do. For example, we will take one language that I'm not pretty much so familiar with. I'm still in the process of learning it. So it is Portuguese. It is a language that I adore. Okay, while the pronunciation has some similarities with French because it's a nasal language, and this R and H are kind of similar because they say the sound R in similar way. And that helped me really when I started studying Portuguese. But here's what I did. Okay, I adore Portuguese, as I have told you a million times, and actually I have been studying it for maybe 2 or 3 years. I listen to Portuguese music, especially Brazilian music. I adore sertaneja. And many singers like Lucas Luco or Luan Santana or Claudia Leite and so on. And I have been picking up the words and the way they say it, and I really was being so careful while I was watching them. I have my role model. It's a blogger that I have been following for a long time, for maybe 3 or 4 years already. Her name is Camila Coelho, and I think that I have been speaking about her a lot because she's really my role model, not just in language, but I really like her. So I have started watching her Portuguese channel. Firstly, I started watching her English channel, and it was okay because I'm not so big fan of English. And then I saw, oh, here's the Portuguese one. I'm not sure if I'm going to understand it. Then I tried and I was picking up the words. Firstly, it was kind of, I don't know, weird because I speak Spanish, you know, okay, and I'm pretty good at French, so I could understand a lot of words, but for me it was weird. And now I got used to her way of speaking Portuguese, and her way of speaking Portuguese is not the same as in other parts of Brazil, and let alone if we just compare it to Portugal. She's from, I think, Minas Gerais, I think that you pronounce it this way, and she has her way of speaking, which is typical for that part of Brazil. And when I speak, I tend to imagine, when I speak Portuguese, I tend to imagine her speaking, how would she say and how would she pronunciate the word, and I speak Portuguese with having her words in mind. And then I kind of imitate her. It's about acting. I can say, for example, a filha é muito bela. See, yes, I can say it in normal way with my Croatian accent. And I can say it, bom dia gente, tudo bem, me gosto muito de viajar. See, and it's okay, but what I do, I tend to imagine her saying bom dia gente. I tend to, you know, prolong this N syllable as she always does. For example, oi, eu sou muito feliz. And then when I speak it, people tell me, oh, your Portuguese pronunciation and accent is pretty much good. Have you ever been in Brazil or something like that? Okay, every time someone tells me that, my heart really starts beating so fast. But it's just about me imitating. And it's the same with French, but it's just in French I've been studying it in university, so I know more than I know Portuguese. And we should we should just try to forget about our native language or about our native accent and just speak the language as natives would speak. So I think that having a role model for language is important. All in all, to sum up this video, it is important to speak as correct as possible. It is true, but if your accent is not perfect, and it's okay, because if you don't try, you will never be able to understand and to learn language properly. And the last thing that I want to ask you, if you're studying some foreign language and if you have an accent, or if you know someone who has foreign accent or something, if you have experience with this topic, please write down below. It's always interesting to see. So thank you a lot for following me and for watching this video. If you like it, please put a thumbs up. See you next time. Bye bye.